I wanted to talk about the BeerBiceps situation. It doesn't really sit well with me. I find like much of the outlash is also very insincere and unfair. You can criticize him and you know make fun of him. Like all of that is fair game. The politicians' involvement in this is kind of like it's a bit too much. Before I get into that, there's something strange about everything that led up to him saying that on stage, making that joke. So let's walk through what he was going through psychologically. So he first saw this joke, presumably, in this video by some other channel, and so within the video itself, like the reactions were particularly, I mean, like it's a dark joke, obviously, like this. It's like a particular sense of humor, and it only hits with a particular target audience. That's completely fair. This sort of joke humor works for. Okay, so this particular audience within the video, okay, like fair enough, they were like laughing. The thing is that they moved on immediately as if like nothing had happened, because for them, like it's like dark humor is not worth creating a fuss about. And then so Ranveer looked into the comments. Like the comments are also like fairly just like very normal comments. Like nobody's making a fuss out about that particular joke. And so there's already like a bit of like he's already in a particular position mentally. There's social proof that like okay, clearly like okay, it's dark, like he felt, but then like within the video and within the comments, like the signaling was not there that it was like that unacceptable. Okay, so now he's watched the video. The joke is in his head, and he goes onto the judges panel, sits down at the judges table at India's Got Talent. And when one of the contestants come up, he poses this would you rather question, where like would you rather have your parents have sex every day for the rest of your life and you'll have to sit there and see it, or you have to get involved once and then it would disappear forever, like that problem is fixed. So it's very, I mean, but it's a very typical would you rather, like it's just all would you rather questions are supposed to be like fucked up. So okay, he makes this joke, and of course like it's dark humor, so the immediate reaction is like a bit of shock, and then the judges and the audience laugh. So the thing is that like up until this point, this joke has been filtered through thousands of people, and Ranveer, BeerBiceps did not get, like the social signalings were totally fine. Like they told him, as if they told him thousands of times that it's okay, it's just dark humor, like, what's the big deal? And then 2 hours after that joke, like he got like his Twitter, basically the rest of the internet, and then subsequently even outside the internet with the politicians and mainstream media getting involved. Like it's an insane thing to happen to a person, because it was a very reasonable, slow, gradual calibration of expectations and risk that he was experiencing. So from the comments perspective, it was okay. Like the reaction in the video was okay. Even in the even on the show with on judges on the Leighton show, the audience was also okay. Like it's just dark humor. Okay, fine. Then then the reactions are completely fucked up. Like throughout this whole thing, the social proof and the slow escalation of risk would throw anybody off. Like you're supposed to get some hints, some signals in order to calibrate your behavior. The thing is, his behavior was perfectly attuned all the way through until the reaction much later on. on the internet and this thing. Yeah, like, and the way that they were engaging with him, he was purely like a scapegoat, in the sense that it's almost that people saw him as a window into like the others stuff that people hated about, like cultural decay or whatever they saw. They saw him as this window, and this was an opportunity to lynch this symbol. I think that making fun of someone and criticizing him are completely fair game. Like, you should be allowed to do it. It's a free society. You should be able to do. In a free society, you should be allowed to do it. The thing that rubs me the wrong way is that most of these kind of like, the most alarming thing about this whole debacle was the free speech angle, where like clearly politicians, especially from all the way over from Assam, this is not their like, you have worse problems. People are dying, like, like there's starvation, there's like clear, like there's problems that have been going on for decades that we have not fixed. I'm not a big fan of his content by itself. So like, my impression of him is that like the dude is a softie. He is not a very aggressive personality. He's not very confrontational at all. Like, he doesn't throw these jokes directed at people, like even sharp jokes. He doesn't throw these darts at people. So you like, take this dark joke as an example. The thing is that this is not targeted at a particular individual. Like, it's just like it's not targeted at anybody in particular. Like, it's just purely the shock value. The escalation after that, where people came into his mom's clinic pretending to be patients and then threatening the mom, I feel like you kind of lose your moral high ground if you do shit like that. Like, that's really fucked up. Like, there is supposed to be a general principle where like violence and threats are way worse than any of these dark jokes. This is a separate human being. This is, and such a piss poor move too. Like, to go after a woman. What cowardly cunts. I hate how this, like, that maneuver is at all possible in our society. Who the fuck are you to talk after that? After pulling something like that? And then like the tirade of comments from Maharashtra CM, Assam's CM, and Shiv Sena's MP. Like, actions from the cyber department and the Women's Commission. Like, what opportunistic cunts. Even like the singer B. Prakash, who was supposed to be in the video, in the podcast, like, he turned his back, which is completely fair. Like, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. But it's just like, this whole situation is such a bad look. It's not even optics. It's just like a bad, perfect representation of how what we are culturally, and it's just like it's just like a display of the sort of pathetic thinking that we have as a country. So from a legal perspective, especially from if you're like a political member or any political representative, like, I care more about the free speech angle of this particular thing. Okay, but from a social human perspective, I make a distinction between two kinds of people. Poisonous people and then venomous people. Like, frogs are poisonous, snakes are venomous. Like, the dude, like, even if you consider what he said was, like, harmful. Like, is it poisonous or venomous? It was poisonous. Like, that's the worst it could possibly, you can interpret it as. Like, his detractors are not poisonous. They are fucking venomous. And you have to, so like I put far more weight on like, okay, if you're gonna put some venom on this, like make like you do have to realize what you're doing. Like it is worse than poison. Like a few more videos talking about this particular principle, like free speech in general. I feel like India does not really respect it a lot, even from a legal perspective. So I just want to like hone in on that particular principle with my channel.